Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right, but somehow you were still broke? Well, that was me. I followed the plan. I went to school, got a good job, and was making over $90,000 per year, but I was still living paycheck to paycheck. One day, I actually went into my checking account and I was getting ready to book a trip to go have fun. And then, boom, almost $500 was going out of my account because of some over or auto pay bills that I actually forgot about. Rent was due the next week, and I realized I was not in control. Money was actually making decisions for me. If you've ever felt like that, the good news is it's not your fault. Today, what I'm going to be sharing with you is how we were programmed to actually be stuck in a system and how you can actually start breaking free out of that. Maybe you are similar to me. You grew up watching your parents work numerous hours, not really having a lot of time to spend with you. And you could also see the frustration on their faces when they were actually going to work. If that's the case, that means that you possibly were taught to work hard to be successful. Now, there's nothing wrong with working hard. However, if you are working hard on the wrong things, that can cause you to not have a fulfilling life. Now, with that being said, if you're anything like me, you probably were told the same thing. Hey, look, if you go to college, you get a good job, then everything will be all right. And honestly, you said anything would be better than this. So you decided to follow the plan. You went to college, you decided to study a degree that was going to make you a lot of money, and you even landed a good high paying job, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck right now, wondering what is going on. Well, what is going on is that you were actually put into a system. I was put into a system. And that system is we were taught how to work for money, but we weren't taught how to have money work for us. You were trained to make someone else rich, but you were not taught how to actually get rich and build wealth for yourself. This system is the educational system, and it trained us to be workers, not owners, not an investor, and it didn't even allow for us to be able to tap into our creative ability. And really, if you go back and you think about it, when you were in kindergarten, kindergarten had all of these different colors. It had all of these nice decorations around the room. But once you actually went to first grade, everything was just bland. Like there were desks, there were no pictures on the wall. And basically, that is when the programming started. Now, how did I actually come to realize that I was actually put in a system and that even you watching this video were put in a system? Well, about 2 years ago, I came across this video called They Programmed You to Be Broke by Myron Golden. And a lot of what he said was actually hitting very hard. Now, one of the biggest thoughts that I actually had was if I was programmed wrong, maybe you were programmed wrong too. But the good news with that is if we were programmed, that means that we can be programmed right. And really, you think that the enemy is your job. Maybe you're watching videos saying, I can't wait to leave my job. I'm looking forward to quitting. I just want to be my own boss. Like, you got to hold on a second because being your own boss requires a lot of self-discipline. And if you're looking to work less hours and make a lot more money, you have to really learn what that takes because many people go and they become entrepreneurs and business owners, not realizing that they're going to be working 15 to 20 hours every single day to actually be able to make that business grow and for it to thrive. Now, good news that I have for you is that with you having a job, you actually have one of the best investors that you can have into being able to fund your dreams. And it allows for you to start creating good habits. So if you do desire to be an entrepreneur, have your own business, and not necessarily work for someone else, you can develop those skills while having the opportunity to still get a paycheck every single week or every 2 weeks, depending on how your company actually is paying you. Now, here are some truths that I learned about money, and definitely watching that video with Myron Golden. Money is a tool, and it's not just something that you trade your time for. Now, your job is only paying you once, but when you learn and understand how to actually utilize your money as a tool to either build systems or acquire assets, these investments will allow for you to earn money over and over and over again with only doing the work once. Now, you have to start asking yourself, what is it that you can do to make money and not just have to work for money? This is a big question that I had. And I'm sure you have seen entrepreneurs on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, and they're basically going and creating all the content and making a lot of money. That is cool. However, I want to encourage you that you want to find something that is very helpful for you, that's going to help you become better, and that you're actually going to enjoy. Now, granted, sometimes the businesses that you want to start may not actually be a good business to start because it's not going to make you money. And although people say, well, I want to be able to have a business that isn't just focused on the money, you have goals, you have dreams. And when you get into business, you want to focus on problems that other people have, because that will allow for you to actually grow your business and scale your business rather than you focusing on having a business as a hobby, which is fine. You can have a business as a hobby. However, if you desire to make money, you still want to pay yourself and pay your bills, you need to have a business that the marketplace cares about and not a business that is a hobby for you that you mainly care about and mainly, those that are close to you. So what's the first thing that you must do before you start creating these systems? Well, the first thing is you have to start feeding your mind. You have to start reading books. You have to start watching different videos. You have to start getting around people who actually think differently about money. Watching this video with Myron Golden, I also discovered that one of the hardest things for people to do is to change their mindset. And the reason why it's so hard for people to change their mindset is because a lot of the information that we actually gathered and that they gathered is from people that they love. Maybe it was your mom, maybe it was your dad, maybe it was your aunt, your uncle, your siblings, maybe it was your cousins, maybe it was your teacher, your pastor. And you ended up basically getting all this information, and now it has basically created roots inside of your mind. And what you have to do is you have to go and unplug those roots, because when you go and unplug those roots, now you can allow for new things to actually grow in that area. So the first thing when it comes to actually starting to read, watch these videos, take it one step at a time. Start with actually managing and tracking your money, because if you can't track your money, you don't know where your money's going, it's going to be hard for you to actually be able to manage and track when you start earning hundreds of millions of dollars, or if you start earning thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people that become rich, they end up getting broke. They start making money and they upgrade their lifestyle too fast. And when they start upgrading their lifestyle too fast, now they end up broke again. So how is this going to benefit you? Well, for one, money won't be controlling your decisions anymore. And you may be actually thinking, well, Matthew, it sounds like you're an expert on this. No, I'm not necessarily an expert on this. I'm actually on this journey with you. If you are just starting, I may only be 1 or 2 steps ahead of you because I just got a hold of my finances. I just started managing my money. I started writing things down. And I'm going to tell you that it is difficult because you don't want to see those numbers. And it's very easy for you to be lazy when it comes to actually looking at your bank statements, telling yourself that, hey, I need to make sure that I pay this on time, or hey, I need to make sure I do this. And it's going to cause you to be a little bit frustrated at first, but that is the barrier of entry. You have to be diligent. And if you can do that for 1 month, for 30 days, you will be able to see a drastic change. Just focus for 30 days where your actual money is going. Now, you may think that 30 days is a long time. And when you start this, yes, it will seem even longer. Focus on 1 day at a time. Do the best you can that day. And even if you fall off, just get back on the horse the next day and continue to keep going. Now, this video with me being, or not even this video, but this YouTube channel is basically me documenting the process of what I'm going through. You know, this isn't about necessarily getting rich quick. All right. Now, people will say, oh, you know, are you talking about a get rich quick scheme? And they don't even know what they're saying. Like a get rich quick scheme is basically a plan. That's what a scheme is. It's a plan to be able to get rich. And truthfully, and I've learned this from Myron Golden, that you hope that you get rich quick because you don't know how long you're going to be on this earth. And when it comes to actually getting rich quick is more so in your lifetime. Okay. It's not getting rich in 30 days, getting rich in the next year, getting rich in the next 5 or 10 years, but getting rich within your lifetime. And that is very doable. And even with getting rich, rich looks different to everybody. For some of you watching this video, maybe earning $250,000 a year working part-time is going to be good for you. For others, working for, working for yourself, or maybe even when you start being able to go and help others, and maybe you go start a business and have others working for you and you're earning millions of dollars, that's probably going to be for you too. But getting rich is different for everyone. Everyone has a different number that they want to get to, and that's fine. You have to find out what actually works for you. So now, if you are actually ready to stop living paycheck to paycheck, I have a task for you. I have a challenge for you. I want you to go, and we're almost at the end of April, and I want you to get your bank statements for the month. And I want you to just find the major things that you know you have to pay for. So this would be things such as your rent or your mortgage, the gas you put in your car insurance. Maybe you have a car note, buying food, as in buying groceries, not eating out. Maybe you are paying student loans and different things like that. Go look for these major places where you have to spend money and write those down. Once you write those down, then I want you to add everything up, and you will see how much money you actually need to be able to survive every single month. Then I want you to get that number and actually post it. And I want you to have it on a white sheet of paper with blue ink, and I want you to post it on your wall. I want you to put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. Maybe you tape it to your bathroom mirror, and then you will know that's how much money you actually need to make every single month. The next step, once you actually do that, I want you to take that number and divide it by 30. And that will give you how much money you need to make every single day to be able to hit that specific income goal. Now, once you actually do that, that is going to really help you out, and you will start to be able to see, okay, where's all this extra money going that I'm actually seeing? And we'll actually talk about that in the next video, where I will be sharing with you a money management system that I learned. It's only 6 steps, and it's helped me see where all of my money is actually going, and it's allowed me to be stress-free when it comes to my finances. So I hope that this video was helpful, and I will catch you in the next video.